I'm ready to begin planning my essay. I've got a thesis that I really believe in. It's what I actually believe and what I think I can defend in the remaining 30 or so minutes that I have. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes here, though, to plan the paragraphs more clearly. In the previous essays, in synthesis and in rhetorical analysis, I had just a quick skeleton of Roman numerals. I want to plan this a little bit more because I don't have a text I can go back to, right? When you're writing question 2, when you're writing the analysis essay, you can always go back to that speech or that letter and mine it for more information. Here, I have to mine it from my own mind. I have to come up with the material in advance. So I want to get into more specifics about my structure here. So I'm going to use, in this one, I'm going to use 4 main paragraphs. In my intro, I want to talk about globalization, but I need to go beyond what the prompt does. So I'm going to think for a minute about some broader ways of framing this. I'm talking about women's rights in English language. Maybe I could talk about some background information. Do I know anything about globalization? But you know, I said in spite of the many drawbacks of globalization, so maybe actually what I'm going to do is start with the drawbacks. And some of those drawbacks are economic inequality. Globalization has helped some people more than it's helped other people. The discord among the social classes, that's what Klaus Schwab said that I need to address here, that I'd like to address. And let's see, another one is maybe the economic inequality. Maybe I'll say it's accelerated the disparity, sort of like my first idea, between the West and the rest of the world. So you notice what I'm doing. I'm writing a lot more than I did in my last 2 examples in synthesis and in rhetorical analysis because I need to have these ideas first. Then I'm going to copy my thesis probably verbatim in. And then in section 2, I'm going to talk all about women's rights. And here I know the history of this pretty well. So I'll start in the 1800s. With women's rights movements in the United States, such as the Seneca Falls Convention and the emergence of these ideas in the West, and then talk about how they have become democratized around the world. And that's a good thing. The more countries where women vote and have access to education is a positive outcome for the billions of women who've been affected by globalization. So I'm going to do this as kind of a history that gets me to the modern world. And I feel really strongly about this. This is something I can explain in great detail. Then I'm going to talk about what I'm calling here language education. And I'm going to do this as a, following the way my thesis is set up, I'll say sort of in spite of the problems of the diffusion of English and French, that's been a net gain. So I'll do it as in spite of problems, explain the problems, and then talk about the benefits of the spread of English and how it's accelerating the world. And then finally, in my conclusion, I've already twice kind of done a shout out to the other side. Maybe I'll speculate a little bit more about other benefits of globalization. Now, this is tricky. I don't want to introduce things I need to defend at length, but maybe I can almost provide a context for a broader positive view of globalization. So I did it. I have a much more comprehensive plan after reading the prompt, brainstorming examples, picking my best ones, making them part of my thesis, and I'm ready to write this essay.